Our world is far from perfect, but a new study from Brandeis University proves that when it comes to wealth, things are only getting worse. In fact, the wealth gap between blacks and whites has more than quadrupled over the course of a generation, from $20,000 to $95,000. And the researchers studied the same set of 2,000 families over the course of 23 years and found that white families were able to build assets while blacks lost those assets.
Now, some reports show that for African Americans, we spend more of our earnings dealing with credit interest than any other groups. How did black folks get into this situation where we're spending exorbitant amounts of money? We're dealing with 16, 17, 18, 19% interest rates.
Right. You know, the thing about that is so frustrating is that because many of those people do not have to pay those rates, the lenders are predatory on them. And there have been studies that showed that there are African Americans who go to a car dealership, would qualify for a credit, but are told that their credit isn't good enough to get the best rates. That's what happened in the housing market. Many of the blacks who got those subprime loans could have qualified for a credit loan. They just didn't know. And so, you know, the best thing we can tell people who are listening or watching is that they need to know their credit. You need to know your credit score.
Hi, John. How are you? How old is John? John is
44.
44 now?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the loan that this preacher lady basically told you that you should get a loan to pay off your credit cards, right? And you wanted to take care of those credit card bills because you were worried about just having enough money to buy food and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I didn't have money to take care of John because his money was going into the bills. Well, so is mine.
Right. It was a struggle to get it paid every month.
Yeah, he was struggling to get it paid off.
We got into some financial bind, and so this is what's causing us to go to the, City Financial.
Let me tell you how I got in with that. That was a meat company.
So you just wanted to get some meat to put in the freezer.
My father had passed away. I took my father off the mortgage, and then we refinanced so I could put myself on it. Hopefully, it'll bring down the monthly payments.
And they sit down, and if they do read the papers, they may see there's something questionable here. There's some charges and fees I didn't expect.
She just told me it's going to be lower than what I was paying then.
And it went up instead of going down.
But I was trusting the minister because she was telling me that was the best way out.
At this point, they're so desperate that they've got, the money tomorrow. They're supposed to pay somebody off the next day.
This is going to be all right. Just put your little name right here and stuff. That's all we need, your little signature right here.
She showed him where to sign it.
He copied
so he wrote
his name
and put it on where they told him to put it.
Then.
And that's good, and that's just the way he did it. That's the way he did it at the loan office.
Cool.
After slavery, we went to the sharecropping system, and it was really it was a debt system, a sort of debt slavery where people got caught owing money to the bank or owing money to the landowner and could never really get out of debt. And that's kind of where we are now.
I got into this, but they tried to take my house.
Then the sheriff brought me a paper saying you got to move. Your house has been sold foreclosed.
Mother's Day, my mom sat on the porch, and a lady came up with her husband to the window, the door. My mom said, may I help you? And she said, well, your house is in the paper for foreclosure.
Which they did. They put it in the paper, and I was so embarrassed.
Some people from City Finance called me, and he kept threatening me about the bill.
What would they say to you on the phone?
They were wanting to know when I was going to do something about my loan. Then I told him, later on, I told him, what is the lawyer? How you talk to my lawyer? And he said, well, you got to tell your lawyer. I said, well, we going to foreclose the deed. Or you won't have no house to stay. What's more important, your lawyer or your house?
Across America, there are twice as many payday lenders storefronts as there are Starbucks. They're not regulated by the federal government, but they lend out over $40 billion a year. This transaction is illegal for military personnel and is outlawed in 15 states and the District of Columbia because of those fees.
$255.
That $255 cost $45 in fees. That's the equivalent of an annual interest rate of 460.08% for a 2-week loan. And the big problem with payday loans isn't just the interest rate, critics say. It's that people get trapped in a cycle of debt.
I was a single mother, and I would get payday loans continuously for 5 years. Every time I got paid, I would pay it off, and I would get another one.
Well, actually, I didn't quite have enough to meet all of my bills, so...
This woman told us she came to get a payday loan to pay off her credit card bill before she got a late fee.
So, it's not too good, but, if you're in a jam, you do what you have to do.
We train our sales staffs to keep customers dependent. We train them to make sure they keep reborrowing, whether in the form of a renewal or a back-to-back transaction forever if possible. We virtually guarantee customer dependence on our products by encouraging them to borrow up to 85% of their gross income. Now that's more in some cases than they actually take home in their net pay, and in Virginia, we allow up to 100% of their gross income. We seek out low-income African American and Latino neighborhoods because we know that this is where our most profitable client is located. In the district, nearly all of our customers are African American. In fact, when a PR company went around to all the payday loan stores in the district to make a promotional video, the crew spent an entire day looking for a white customer.
1991. I'm a student at Texas A&M, senior year, and I'm applying for jobs across the country. Intern everywhere, sat on the board of directors of the National Association of Black Journalists, frankly one of the top journalists coming out in college. Interview at the Birmingham News. Fly to Birmingham, go meet with 16 different editors. They all meet, they say, man, this guy has the credential, let's hire him. Did not get the job because the HR department for the Birmingham News said, we don't like his credit report. Because in 1991, the state of Alabama allowed companies to factor in a credit report as to whether you can actually get a job. And the editor said it was one of the most difficult things for him to call me and say, we regret to hire you because of your credit report. I'm a college student, and he was trying to figure out a way, and I've never let the Birmingham News forget that they did not hire this journalist because of a credit. But again,
it happens all the time.
It was a state law.
But it happens all the time.